So I'm going to discuss 10 countries where Americans can pick up their bags and move tomorrow in the next 24 hours. And when I say move, it's not visa-free access. Of course, Americans can go to a lot of places visa-free. What I really mean is move for good, move forever. You can get a direct permanent residency, or you can even get a direct citizenship. There's also a hybrid option where you move, get the permanent residency, spend some time, and then naturalize in a couple of years, pick up your citizenship from that country. And these are 10 very powerful and useful citizenships. A lot of these, or 90% of these, are paper residencies. So you go there, you strike the residency, you move for good, and then you can move other places. You can bounce around, hop around, travel the world, but you're not going to lose your place in the queue to nationality to get that all important citizenship. The first important country on this list is the nation of Georgia, and this is a beautiful, safe European country. It's not really in the EU. I'm going to discuss an EU option. There are a couple of great EU options where Americans have special benefits, at least in one country. American nationality has a direct treaty where you can acquire a very easy residency which leads to citizenship. But let's focus on Georgia and look at what the deal is. For starters, Americans can live in Georgia for up to a year. And interestingly, if you just exit for a day and you come back, you can actually technically reset the clock. So essentially, you can be in Georgia for a lifetime given the current situation without really needing anything. But let's say you want to work on your nationality, you want to get a stable residency. There's several ways to acquire residency in Georgia. Either you can do a digital nomad route or simply purchase a property in Georgia and then get your residency from inside, and you just keep renewing it. After 5 years, you can apply for nationality in Georgia. So it's an easy option for Americans. The second country on this list is Albania. Again, like Georgia, Americans have a 1 year visa-free access to Albania. And let's say you want to, once you hit the year, and you wanted to reset the clock, then you got to be away for 90 days. And then once you come back to Albania, then you reset your clock. You can live for another year and you can keep doing this on the visa-free access. But the simple option, or the recommended option, is you simply pick up a residency permit from Albania, so you don't have to keep renewing or exiting and then coming back. And the easiest way to acquire a residency permit in Albania is to purchase a property, rent a property, and then you can apply for your 1 year residency permit. Keep renewing that year over year. And after 5 years, you are eligible to apply for your Albanian citizenship. Now, Albania has a unique way of immediately awarding citizenship, and that's called citizenship by merit. And yes, there's a program, there's a process. We are working with some clients on this, and this is the Albanian CBM, where you naturalize immediately. Let's say you move to Albania, you satisfy the criteria, do the necessary contribution to a cultural cause or to any merit-based project that's recognized by the government, and then you can expedite your citizenship in 4 months, 4 to 6 months. You can collect your passport and get the Albanian nationality. The next country on the list also offers a direct path to citizenship. You can directly acquire a citizenship by purchasing your own property, and this is the country of Turkey. There are two options. One is you purchase a property for 400K USD and you can directly apply for a Turkish passport or Turkish nationality. That's a CBI program, citizenship by investment program. There's several other countries where you can directly purchase the nationality. Those are all CBI programs. So that's the first option. The second option is you move to Turkey. You have a generous 90 days of visa-free access to Turkey. You can keep resetting the clock by traveling and coming back. But let's say you want to convert this into a residency permit. You have two options. One is you rent an apartment or you purchase an apartment of a certain threshold. Usually if you're purchasing it, it's like 75K or more. And then you can directly acquire residency rights in Turkey, spend the 5 years and then apply for nationality. Or as I said earlier, directly do the 400K in property purchase. We have a specialized team in Turkey, one of the best attorneys that fights for our clients' citizenship rights. So a lot of people who are awaiting the CBI program don't get it in in time, they spend a year and a half or sometimes even 2 years. But our CBI specialist attorney in Turkey ensures that your process goes smoothly and works lightning fast. Now, before I continue with this list, if you are a regular viewer and if you feel that this channel adds value to your life, helps you with making important decisions, then please take a look at your subscription. If you aren't yet subscribed, then please turn it on. It helps this channel grow and it helps me get you valuable information and on time. The fourth country on this list is in Latin America. A lot of Americans do prefer Latin America because of the proximity to the US, and this is a very politically neutral country. You hardly hear any political news from this place, and this is the nation of Uruguay. Two options here. One is you enter Uruguay visa free, right? And then we help you. It takes a couple of days, 2 to 3 days, to acquire your permanent residency from Uruguay. This is a direct PR, a paper residency, and in 3 or 5, based on your circumstances, you can naturalize in Uruguay through natural means. This is one of the best countries to live. Safe country, stable country, less political drama, no political violence, none of that crap. It's a beautiful country. It has a friendly immigration, and the citizenship is pretty smooth and stable. In 6 to 12 months, you should be able to get your passport once you apply for naturalization. This is a hot favorite in 2026. A lot of our clients have started the Uruguay direct permanent residency process. You can include your family members in this. So it's not just for you, it's for your entire family. The advantage of including the family is that if you're applying with your family, if you have children, then you can naturalize in Uruguay in just 3 years, which expedites your pathway to citizenship. The fifth country on this list is Paraguay. The big advantage of doing Uruguay is that you can use the same documentation and then do Paraguay. We first do Uruguay, and on the same trip, let's say you set aside a couple of days after you're done with Uruguay, you land in Asuncion. We have a team that specializes between both Uruguay and Paraguay, so it can be combined with the same set of documentation. It, of course, helps drive the costs down because you're doing it all at the same time. It can be done as a single package. Paraguay, you can enter visa free. Americans are eligible to enter Paraguay absolutely visa free. And even before you arrive in Paraguay, we ensure that your documentations are verified, your documents are correctly translated, certified, notarized, apostilled, and all that kind of stuff. So everything is verified, reviewed, and then of course you land in Paraguay and get your residency. So you enter as a tourist, but you then leave as a resident, or you stay back as a resident. And just like Uruguay, in Paraguay, it is a paper residency. They're not enforcing physical presence in the country. And then after 3 years on permanent residency in Paraguay, you can then apply for citizenship. Uruguay and Paraguay both are extremely useful passports. They're strong nationalities. They're safe countries, they're beautiful countries with flexible and friendly immigration and a strong visa-free access on that passport. So as an American, once you naturalize in either country, then you have a separate independent passport in your portfolio that you can use for travel around the world. A lot of people aren't comfortable using the home country passport for travel. They want to have an alternate identity which they can use for travel purposes. So Paraguay and Uruguay has excellent impression around the world. The sixth on the list is Panama. Panama has several options, but yes, for starters, you can enter visa free. It does have a very generous visa-free policy. You can stay back, do what you want, do the border runs, come back, reset your clock. You can do that normal stuff. But let's say you want a stable pathway in Panama. There are 3 options that you can consider or look at. First one is a special type of temporary residency. Open a bank account, deposit a certain amount, earn $850 a month in passive income. This should be an interest. That makes you eligible for a very special type of temporary residency, which can be, once you acquire the temporary residency, and the process is fairly fast, you can apply for a travel passport. So no, you don't have to wait to acquire your nationality or do your citizenship, you can directly acquire the travel passport, which is an extremely strong or a powerful travel document. It has access to all of EU, it has access to all of Latin America, including some very important and powerful countries. The second option in Panama is that you could do the retiree based residency. It's between 1,000 to 2,000 USD. If you earn that much in passive income, you can qualify for that residency. Or let's say you're not a retired person, you can directly acquire a premium permanent residency. The reason why it's premium is because it's super fast. In 30 days after entry, you can convert to permanent residency, and the permanent residency requires a property purchase in Panama. Once you acquire your property, you can live in it, you can rent that property, but that gets you the permanent residency status in Panama. The purchase price of the property that's required is 300K USD. So you can use any three options to secure your residency in Panama. The seventh option on this list is the next door neighbor, that's Mexico. In Mexico, you have temporary residency or permanent residency. So yes, you can enter visa free for 6 months, do the border runs. You can indefinitely keep entering Mexico and it works out fine. A lot of people do that. They don't get any residency, live in Mexico when they want, as long as they want, as long as you're exiting once in 6 months and returning back after, that's fine. Resets the clock, no issues. But let's say you want to get that Mexican passport so you don't have to do the border runs anymore. And there are two ways of doing this. Either you get a temporary residency or you get a direct permanent residency. Either or works. It still gets you the citizenship after 5 years. So it's a paper residency up until year number 3, and then between year number 3 and year number 5, if you spend 18 months in Mexico, you can apply for your Mexican nationality. The qualifying criteria is pretty generous. No donations, no golden visa fees to the government, just the normal ordinary application fee, a couple of $100. Not a big deal, but the qualifying criteria is that you have a bank balance of approximately 78K for temporary residency or 300K for permanent residency. Alternatively, if you don't have that bank balance for a year, then you can show your income of $4,800 per month for the past 6 months or $7,800 of income for the past 6 months for permanent residency. So you can pick and choose which residency fits best in your circumstances, and then you can get the Mexican residency. The card itself, it might take, for whoever needs the visa, it might take a few days, but the Mexican card process through our team, we process that literally in 45 minutes. And if you have missed the video on how I got the world's fastest residency in 45 minutes, then return and take a look at this video. This has few other residency cards that I talk about, some of the fastest in the world and some of the most useful, including a zero tax permanent residency that I talk about. Eighth on the list is an EU country, and it's through a special type of treaty for Americans, is the DAFT, the DAFT, Dutch American Friendship Treaty, where you open up a business bank account and deposit 4,800 euros in that account, and you are eligible to file for a special type of residency in the Netherlands. So yes, you can enter visa free and do the border runs, but let's say you are interested in a residency and a future pathway to citizenship, then you can acquire the DAFT based residency in Netherlands, and then in future you can apply for a Dutch nationality. Number 9 on this list is a remote, 100% remote permanent residency. So yes, you can enter visa free and then get this, or let's say you want a permanent residency before even you go to this country, then you can 100% remote in 5 to 25 days acquire a direct remote permanent residency in the nation of Vanuatu. The biggest advantage of Vanuatu is that it's right next to Australia. It's between Australia and New Zealand. So you have two very developed nations right there. So if you need any medical services or if you need to make some purchases or just want to visit and spend some time in developed countries nearby, then you have those two options. But you can set your plan B, plan C, plan D, whichever way you want to look at this. This is an English speaking country, a safe country, a zero tax country. So there are a lot of advantages to Vanuatu. Get a direct lifelong permanent residency, renewable every 10 years, and our team specializes in getting this lightning fast. So Vanuatu is an excellent choice for citizenship. The second option in Vanuatu is that you can get a direct remote citizenship in 60 days, where you're just getting the passport and you have a lifelong entry to Vanuatu. The number 10 on the list is one of the biggest success stories in immigration history. This is also an EU nation which has a paper pathway to citizenship. The paper path to citizenship is what really makes this very attractive, and this is through the Portugal Golden Visa. So yes, you can enter visa free and do the border runs. You could also do a D6 or D7, but that requires physical presence. But if you're looking for a paper path, a paper residency, then Portugal Golden Visa checks all the boxes. Safe country, beautiful country, affordable country, extremely welcoming towards Americans. It's an EU nation, it's in the Schengen zone, so you have those mobility advantages as well. And then in 5 years, currently as of the recording of this video, it's still 5 years pathway to citizenship. Once you get the golden visa, you keep this in the back pocket and you wait for 5 years, and then you apply for your nationality and you can apply for the Portuguese passport. Once you get the Portuguese passport, you have a lifelong settlement rights in any of the 28 EU nations. So this is a very powerful option for a lot of people who are looking for that EU residency pathway. And we have a specialized team that works on the Portugal Golden Visa. The main thing, the main highlight is to get not just your Golden Visa at record speeds, but also get the nationality as fast as possible, because a big problem with a lot of EU nations is that the citizenship is delayed in a lot of cases. Yes, you're eligible, yes, you apply, but the passport actually takes a couple of years or more in some cases. That's where we try to streamline this by using some of the best attorneys that are directly working with immigration in Portugal. So yes, together we can work on this option. Now, at any point in time, if you are interested in getting started with any of these residencies, you can always click the link, book a call. We can have a quick chat. Maybe it's one, two, maybe it's a combination. Maybe you want to combine a few on the same set of documentation. You can discuss that and immediately get you started with the residency or direct citizenship of your choice. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subbed, and catch you in the next one.